and then starting to try and pressure you. Especially, let's say, you know, something where Spickles, maybe they might commit to fireballs. Obviously, probably not versus a Snake, but if Spickles is a little more reserved and trying to slowly eke their way into a pressure zone versus Grape, it can be a totally different ballgame very quickly. But starting on PS2, the Georgia Classic, Spickles versus Grape.
And this is where well, it won't matter now, but I'm curious to see in the future stocks when he's actually at 0, what Grape decides to do. Because, like I said, one of the best things Snakes has is getting himself out of the depth percent, aka 0. But Grape wasn't doing it immediately off rip. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he's like, whatever, I'm the better player. It doesn't really matter. Maybe he thinks he doesn't have the combos. But I'm curious to see how that goes. But so far, I mean, Spickles has done a really good job of racking up percents. Snake is really liable to the grab still, like down throw, down B is still very good on Snake. So I'm curious to see how Spickles will try to close this out.
It looks like Spickles right now has just been basically taking the approach of it doesn't matter if you're going to set up and taking more of an aggressive stance, just blitzing on Grape right now and trying to just overwhelm him with hitboxes like the Nair, and not even abusing the Cyclone to try and get through, and just these quick short hop bears. There's the first Cyclone, but what I like seeing from Grape is how they are cooking the grenade and putting the C4 almost as a deterrent for Spickles to come in.
Yeah. And this is the issue now too. Now you're down to stock, so Grape is gonna generally play more defensive, and Luigi has kill moves, kill options, a grab, down B, but this is where it piles up. Now you are forced to 100% approach Snake, behind on a lead, where really the only thing you could kill him with is a grab or like a raw back air, essentially. And even then, if you're already at 78 and you back air Snake at the ledge, and he just did like 12% more and died, you're already at up tilt kill percentage with no rage. Like that. Probably wanted an up tilt. Wow. The setup with the Nikita.
Yeah, and I mean, this is where I was talking about the C4 placement. You look how Grape is playing around the C4, basically daring Spickles to come in and swing. But now, like you said, it doesn't matter if you get, the second you get hit by one of these spare projectiles from Grape, he's going to immediately looking for the back air, just get you off stage and try and fish for the Nikita setup. And
just barely missing it.
Yeah. I mean, these are setups, Gerardo, that you cannot miss, especially against a player of Grape's caliber.
Oh, 100%. And especially in this matchup where you know, like, that is your win condition, essentially. I have to get the 0 to depth or at least 0 to 80 2 times minimum to have a chance to win, like, such a weird, rough matchup. And that's something, too. You noticed that on the second stock, Grape was like, I don't care, I'm going to play neutral, and he almost got punished for it.
Right.
I wonder if the 10% was just enough to not be in the range, but I'm not sure. Like, it could have been Spickles barely missing it. An unfortunate SD there trying to avoid Nikita. But it could have been Spickles trying to, like, just barely miss it, didn't dash up enough, or the 10% simply wasn't enough. And that, I don't know. Maybe Grape does know, and, you know, maybe that's why he's not doing it. But he's definitely not opting to immediately blow himself up. But he is staying on the platform, which makes it significantly harder for for Luigi to grab you, which is also another counterplay. Well, how is Luigi going to 0 to def you on this tiny platform that slow Luigi has to, like, jump up to get there and then do a tether grab to grab you?
I mean, I think another point that you hit on was how Spickles basically was so afraid of the Nikita that it's almost like in baseball, you had a forced error.
Yeah.
Where you want to dodge the Nikita, you think, okay, I have enough time, I can up B through and then maybe get something to go through. Spickles dies for it. So now you're going to a smaller stage, basically smaller PS2 on small battlefield. I think this does give Spickles some ways to blitz. Well, again, just run down Grape, try and get some options. But like you said, if you're not rattling off 80% right off the rip, then we're in a little bit of problem territory, especially versus a player like Grape.
And now I think Grape is out of the depth percent, which is fine. You're still going to take damage. But now he can play the game, like, relatively normal. He doesn't have to camp as hard as he needs to if he wants to. Obviously, if you want to win, the idea is you still camp Luigi regardless. That's what Snake's built to do. Luigi can't really get in easily.
Right.
But now it's just going to be up to Spickles. How do I close the stock out? Because if I'm Luigi with a lead, Snake gets worse and worse when he's from behind, because obviously he's taking so much chip damage from his own grenades.
Right. And I mean, one thing that I've seen that Spickles has been doing pretty well so far this game is that even when he gets hit by an explosive that Grape is setting up, he's still able to find a follow-up that may lead to some bigger percent. 150 is a dangerous percent to be at, especially on a small battlefield, and Spickles takes the first stock.
And see,
So
this is where I want to see Grape like blow himself up because, well, that could have been it. Like, legitimately, that grab hit lands, you might be down 3 stocks to 1. Now it won't matter, but now it's again, because the first stock went so poorly, you're a stock down as Snake, a character that loves to trade because of grenade.
Right.
That gets way worse over time. And now Spickles can kind of just run away with this. Spickles is just going to kind of press buttons, running into a C4 there. But even now, Spickles can kind of just keep playing aggressive. Amazing parry uppy there by Spickles.
Yeah, I mean, you're up a stock. Even percents, even though you're up a stock, this is where you have to start looking for that grab and try and rack up that percent that we've been talking about this whole time. Make sure you're managing the placement of the C4 and you're trying to push basically Grape into a corner where the grab is a gimme.
Yeah, and see, Grape, so we know now deliberately Grape is not blowing himself up. And to be fair, he hasn't gotten 0 to death, but it's one of those like, you're gonna give it the chance to happen, and that's why it might snowball. Like, this is somewhat winnable, right? You're only at 46, you could bring it back maybe before you're like at 80, but now it's gone, and now you have to do this big comeback versus Luigi, because every time you got hit, because you're only at 0, Luigi was getting max damage even off like straight hits like Nair, or even forward air.
And I mean, if you've been looking how Spickles is approaching right now, I think Spickles has intentionally slowed down their approaches. They still are trying to aggressively shark on up to Grape when they do overshoot the stage and go high. But I think Spickles, you have to control those nerves right now. You can see there's almost a little bit of adrenaline in how they're choosing their options. Some random cyclones coming in. But now, this is the, just missing the roll.
That's the 3rd C4 kill so far. And that's like the main thing Spickles has to watch out for at this point. The first game is like, okay, it's Snake with a lead. And now we're kind of seeing the inverse. It's like Luigi with a lead versus a character like Snake that obviously isn't built to approach at least consistently. And now, I mean, if I'm Spickles, I'm camping until I get a grab. Because down throw, down B is what I'm hoping and praying for. Grape will eventually do these air dodges trying to land. And that was potentially it.
Yeah, I mean, the immediate throw is a good idea to try and mix, like, check basically a DI check. And is that it? Not enough to close out Grape. Spickles, don't get too excited as Grape's going high, because this is exactly what he wants to do. Set up these explosives, get back to the stage as fast as possible. And the back air closes it out. Spickles can breathe a sigh of relief. So now, the smaller stage obviously plays to your advantage. We do have Kalos legal here, but what is an immediate hit if you are Spickles, especially against someone like Grape?
If I'm Grape, I want platforms. Because he was playing, so at least based on what I saw game 1. Game 1, he was playing, obviously he wasn't blowing himself up, that's fine. But he was playing on these positions on the platforms where a grenade would be in between Luigi and Snake, but he's also on the platform with the grenade. And like I was saying, how does Luigi get a meaningful grab or hit in that scenario? It's almost impossible. Weirdly, the only way it's going to happen is if you make a really weird defensive option after you set the grenade and you kind of just hold shield after, let's say, grenade explodes. And then Spickles is just like, I hope this grab hits. I just like fast fall on the platform, grab. Oh, you just stayed in shield after grenade shielded? Like, that's really the only way. So I think platforms is in general what they're going to want. Smash will make sense. Going back to PS2 makes sense. Kalos also makes sense. You just camp on the right-hand platform. But going back to PS2 makes sense, I think, for both parties. Like, it's not terrible for Spickles, but this is where it could be. Oh, and another drop combo, though.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it during game 1, that dropping these conversions, especially against players like Grape who are a little more seasoned in these pressure situations, you have to rack up the damage early and often, like you said. And now Grape definitely playing around a grenade fortress, setting him up, trying to run away and push the C4 to catch Spickles, doing a good job of just racking up, basically 101% uncontested.
Yeah, that was a really good up tilt there by Grape. And this is where now you're just able to play with the lead. You're able to Nikita these really slow recovery options from Luigi, and it's not Spickles' fault. That's just a Luigi limitation. Part of the reason the matchup is so difficult sometimes. And now, but that's the thing too. Down throw up B. Oh, went for up air there. But still not the end of the world. Now 133, like back air will kill, back throw might kill. A down throw down B will definitely kill. And you're only at 0. You could probably take 20 to 40% and you're fine.
I mean, Spickles is doing a good job right now of basically threatening and telling Grape that they can't leave the platform in any safe way. I do like how they are trying to get these grabs and look for something. However, at this point, if you can cheat, I was just about to say, a Cyclone or an up smash, just basically land one of those home run hits and get something, but you have to start getting out a little more unscathed right now. Grape is getting a little more confident in setting off some aggressive grenades to try and basically deter Spickles from going for any of these aggressive options.
Still not going to be enough. And see, this is the thing now. At this point, Spickles just kind of looks like they're flailing. I'm surprised that Uppy actually beat like Croak Cypher. And now you're only at 75. This is the thing. If I'm Grape, I'm C4ing myself immediately. I am not taking this risk. Yeah. Spickles is playing the long game, so it might work because those fireballs hit you, you're good. Like at this point, you're gone to the combo. It's that simple. One grenade blowing up on yourself, and you're out of the percent. But I wouldn't even take the risk that Spickles is able to outplay me even once and get that grab at 0. And that's like one of the few benefits Snake has, and Grape hasn't done. And now you're going to be in this advantage just praying essentially that Spickles' guess is wrong.
Right. I mean, right now, Spickles has to find a way to be a little more cognizant of the C4. You know, he got very trigger happy with the combos, and oh, the missed up B. This could be a problem. The misfire into the Nikita.
Part of that is unlucky. Part of that is like it's the same thing. Slow missile would have also still gotten you killed. So now it's just how do you bring it back? I mean, again, down throw up B is definitely doable at this percent. But how do you get that grab again? And it's hard because he's always going to put this grenade in between. So even when you grab him, oh, grenade's pulled in, your down throw activates it, we're good. And Spickles is also opting to like use Fireball a lot, which is interesting if you're okay. Smash.
Spickles asking if
now this is where I'm great again. But we'll see, because Spickles hasn't really been able to get that grab at 0. And when they have, they dropped the combo twice.
Right. And this is it. You have to nail this combos. If you're Spickles, starting to get the combo and drops it.
They dropped it again. But at least you got 68 this time. The first time you did it this game, you only got 40. So you'll take that. Again, Snake is going to want to take trades. You're going to be taking trades, and Snake is going to take small increments of damage.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Spickles right now, you have to pay attention to that C4 placement. In game 2, it was a gigantic problem. Right now, it's on that little red part of the Pokeball, and Spickles, getting
barely avoided.
It's on Spickles. Here it is. Can you wait it out? And there it is. No!
That kill?
Just barely. Good job from Grape. I can't believe that C4 killed that early Drago.
They were only like, what, 90?
I think it was 114 after the hit.
And they didn't even go straight up. They were slightly high. Well, obviously, it wasn't perfect.
Right.
But it wasn't even like they went straight up. Like, wow, I cannot believe that kill.
That was a baffling situation, to say the least.
Wow.
I can't believe
I mean, you could look at it as if it doesn't kill.